Guess who's coming to dinner?
Brown rice family.
Alright.
Nice.
Get your chopsticks.
Okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Okai. Originally from Brooklyn. Parents are from Haiti. I was born in the late 70s. So I identify with hip hop very well. For me, hip hop was a way of escaping, reality through the arts. We didn't, growing up, I couldn't afford to go, get martial arts classes or gymnastic classes. So, we learned how to break dance. We didn't know much about poetry, but we know about hip hop, which introduced us to poetry. I didn't know much about jazz music, but hip hop was sampling funk, James Brown, and jazz music. So we got to learn about that through hip hop. So for me, hip hop was a rose growing out of concrete. It was a way for us to express our art and our creativity through this art form of hip hop.
I'm Yuichi from Japan. When I was in high school, everybody was about hip hop. If you are rapper, DJ, dancer, graffiti, if you don't do one of those, you don't get attention from people. So as Japanese, since hip hop is from America, as Japanese, it's the culture from overseas. So we jump on as style, fashion first because we didn't know what was hip hop. But that was for black culture for me, hip hop. So we try to just copy, how they,
gestures
and the dance and DJ. My high school life was all about hip hop. Practice every day, every night. Sleep in the school. After school, we go to practice in the morning, and go back to school and sleep. Since it's culture, there's good side and bad side. Gang kind of attitude at the same time. And then, when you are in high school, you want to be tough, strong, and bad. And bad is good.
Bad is good, yeah.
So, some of us are really into art, music, dance, but same time, bad. Then I dropped out high school, and I came to America to do hip hop dance. That was the reason I came to New York. Then I'm doing. I got old and I ventured out of things. Now I'm doing music with Brown Rice Family. Now I know what was good side and bad side of hip hop culture, and we try to promote good side, positive side of hip hop through Brown Rice Family.
My name is Prince Hamu, and I'm from Nigeria. Hip hop's like my friend, a friend that I actually grew up with. So I'm from Nigeria, and listening to hip hop actually introduced me to American music. I remember when I the first hip hop song I heard was Biggie, and from there I started listening to R&B, and then I got into jazz, and I got into all sorts of music. So when I listened to hip hop in Nigeria, we just listened to it because it was just fun to listen to. When the rappers are spitting or flowing, it is like playing drums. Africans are very rhythmic. So when you hear when you hear Tupac, when you hear Nas, or when you hear Biggie, the flow is so good, it just makes you want to move wow. Then when I moved to America, I really started to understand hip hop and understand the struggle. So when I lived in Nigeria, the language is different. Even though we all speak English, but in hip hop it's a different terminology. For you to really understand it, you have to live it. So when I moved to America, I really started to understand because I started hanging around, African Americans, they're my people. So I really started to understand the culture. And like you said, when I was going through hard times, I remember, man, Nas was Illmatic was my best friend. I sat down and I listened to that all day. And, it just kind of took me to that place. So that's my relationship with hip hop. It's like my really close friend that I kind of grew up with. Thank you, thank you.
First of all, I'm Sticky Rice from Jamaica, Clarendon, Jamaica, Southern Jamaica. I would say hip hop is a vibration that's, you know, being created by the people living in the marginalized sections of the United States and abroad. If you look, if you pay attention, you can see the different streams of hip hop through the way we interact with each other, the way we dress, the way we dance, the way we sing, the way we rap, the way we do public art, yeah, etc., etc. So, you know, society kind of, you know, set up barriers and designations, and they say, okay, this group stay here and this group stay here, and the preferred group should interact with the so-called dysfunctional groups, you know. So, and they tell their children and their son and their daughters not to go and mingle with people from certain sections, because if you mingle, then you might catch a disease that can't cure. I don't know what kind of disease they're gonna catch. We should be scared. We should be telling our kids and our friends, no, mess with that section of society because of all the wrong they have done. And we haven't really done anything. Like I said, we're just marginalized, and we, you know, economically we're in a recession all our lives. We don't have certain things to, you know, I mean, express who we are, so we use the basic, or like the natural then, you know, things that we get, which is our art, our voices, our bodies we used to dance, you know. So yeah, that's hip hop, and I want to give maximum respect to the pioneers, you know, the people who have started hip hop, all the contributors then and all the contributors now, you know. And you can see hip hop even create a medium to earn money now in modern times, you know, like the youths from the marginalized sections now can make good money. The hip hop, send their kids to school, you know, all that kind of stuff, put food on the fire to eat, buy books, you guess what I'm saying, buy gears, drop it like it's hot. You get dig, so hip hop.
So it's a Wani from South Africa, Cape Town. I would think of the relationship of actually hip hop to me just like the relationship between me and my grandmother. Because my grandmother offered a place where I would go and get spoiled, get candy, and be treated well. In an unrealistic situation, fashion. And when life was very mundane, I was going to school, and things seemed hard, a lot of homework, things I didn't understand, tough times, tough moments. I put my headphones on, and I would be in this place where things were great, things were wonderful. When I listen and I hear the beat and I hear the artist's flow, it was like all receptors of my brain were being spoiled like my grandmother giving me extra candy. That's the relationship of me.
Isaiah Richardson from the Bronx. So I grew up in the Bronx, live in the Bronx, born 1980. My father grew up in the same block as Grandmaster Flash, Melly Mel, the list goes on. Melly Mel is in my family. Married my cousin.
Ah, nice.
I think of hip hop as the continuation of bebop.
Bebop.
You know, going way back, you know, when Black America was always a cool side, it was always a certain culture that was Black.
Right.
And you know, there's poetry and there's this and that. You know, it took a long time, all the way through funk, all the way through this, before the entire world embraced something and said, this is a Black American art form. And it hasn't been taken away. It's the last thing that hasn't been taken away.
So yes, we are the Brown Rice family, reporting to you live from NYU,
Excellent.
the home of hip hop.
Hip hop.
Making it happen, baby.
Hip-hop.
And we're gonna see you in Connecticut really soon.
All the women.
Hip hop.